Cursed by the old gods of Bethany, we are 5 immortals doomed to walk the earth until we complete our 1,001 tasks. After centuries of having our memories dicked around, we're to complete our destiny and die. We are, for now, the Immortals. This is episode 58.
Yeah, it is.
Woo-hoo.
58.
An utterly boring
And
number.
the first one of 2017!
That's
It is!
exciting.
Happy 2017,
yeah.
everybody.
Happy New Year.
This is the 5th of January. Yeah. So far, so good.
After all the years that we've been alive, it's still great that we're excited about the turning of another year.
I think you said this last year.
Did I?
More exciting if you think of the Earth going all the way
said
around.
this last year.
That's great podcasting.
It is. Oh,
At least we're consistent.
Bethany's memory problems.
You know.
Hopefully no one is listening to these out of order and goes right from that one into this one.
They just want the January episodes. And all
Just-
February
just-
episodes.
That'd be weird.
If anyone out there is doing that, please tell us and tell us why.
No judgment, just why.
Yeah,
Oh, boy.
that's all. Like, I don't care. I'm just interested.
All right. Well, we
Yeah.
have quite a show for you guys this
We
week.
do.
We're gonna start this year off correctly.
Correctly.
Yeah.
Correctly, it's not
With
wrong.
correctly grammar, too.
Christ, we're
We're going to come correctly.
it's gonna be just as shit as the
What?
previous 57.
Come correct.
What? God. Anywho,
Okay.
I'm Austin,
I'm Adam.
I'm Sarah.
I'm Leigh.
I'm Pedro.
and we are the Immortals. Every week, we review one of the 1,001 movies, albums, food, songs, children's books, and TV shows that you must consume before you die. Every week, Adam is possessed by one of Bethany's minions to give us a probably randomly assigned number that helps power her evil doings. We'll figure this out later, I'm sure, once we focus on that. But, yeah, this week we are assigned the number 258. And for all you playing at home with the 6 published books that are about these 1,001 things, this is what they are. The movie is Journey, or Voyage to Italy.
The album is The Slider by T-Rex.
The food is Stinky Tofu.
The song is Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud by James Brown.
The children's book is The Duck in the Gun by Joy Cowley.
And the TV show is Three's Company. And now, let's take a journey to Italy.
Ever since we realized how little we meant to each other, you've done everything you could to make things worse.
And what about you? You haven't said a word or made a gesture to try to save what little is left of our marriage.
I like Italy.
It's nice here in Italy.
It's kind of overrated, though.
What?
An entire country.
You think the entire country of Italy is overrated?
No, it's not. I just wish I could go back there soon.
You're just, like, jealous of the
I
existence of
am.
Italy. That's fair. I get that.
Well, you could have joined these two on their journey to Italy.
I don't want to join these two on their journey to Italy.
You don't think that they were...
It seems sad and
definitely
unpleasant.
I would take a voyage with them, but not a journey.
Right, so I think we all watched this on Filmstruck, and
Yep.
if you search it, it's called Journey to Italy. Then when the title card plays this Voyage to Italy, it's definitely one of those two films.
I mean, the Italian title is Viaggio, which can be translated, I guess, I mean, like, it seems like it's a word that can be...
I'm pretty sure it's
Voyage
used
and journey
interchangeably.
mean the same thing.
Yeah. I don't think there are separate words in French or Portuguese for those two.
It's 'cause, yeah, they definitely mean the same thing.
You're going somewhere.
Right. Over a period of time.
Yes.
It's long in some way.
Mm-hmm.
This is a 1954 drama, directed by Roberto Rossellini, one of the 3 films he made with the star Ingrid Bergman from Casablanca.
Unrelated to Ingmar Bergman.
It's true.
Yeah,
They just have
took me a
similar
while.
names.
Very similar.
But they are related to Isabella Rossellini.
Oh.
Ah.
Yeah. Ingrid Bergman is Isabella Rossellini's mom.
Yeah, because she married Roberto Rossellini, the director of this.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yup. Thank you, Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And George Sanders plays the other part of this married couple who go to Italy, and their marriage sucks, pretty much.
Pretty much the plot, yeah.
It's a film where Ingrid Bergman goes and visits various museums and catacombs, and they go to some parties, and every once in a while meet back up and talk about how much they're unhappy.
Yeah.
And question why they didn't have kids, and talk about getting a divorce.
It's real great.
Yeah.
Happy, great start to the new year.
Happy 2017. So, Leigh, what did you think of this one?
I'm sick of movies where people are unhappy and then they continue to be unhappy until like the last 5 minutes when something benign and modern and everyday changes their lives. I'm sick of these movies.
Oh, did you catch up on the Last Picture Show?
Yeah, I watched Last Picture Show too. So there's 2 of these movies in a row. Plus, like, it feels like half of the other movies we watched for this stupid list fall into this category of unhappy people being unhappy until the last 5 minutes when something changes their lives. Whether it be frogs flying out of the sky, or kids being electrocuted, or... yeah, no, I'm done. This whole plot structure is boring me.
Wait, is that Jurassic Park?
No, that was
Ice Storm.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Sorry, I thought with the kid on the gate first. And
Well, as you should.
All right. Yeah, this is the film, unlike the other 3 that Leigh mentioned, I can't defend as well. I don't think it's that great.
I liked it.
You liked it? Okay, then Pedro, how about you go?
Well, okay, so it was... Actually, well, no, one thing that really bothered me. I'm going to start with how I liked it by things that bothered me.
You just tricked your way into this part.
Oh, God. It kind of sucked watching a movie that was in English dubbed in Italian, but with English subtitles.
So
that was really weird.
I don't know why Criterion did that.
Yeah, as always, we trust Criterion and Janus films because they are holy. And there are 2 versions of this film. The first one played in Italy with dubbed Italian voices, even though it's 2 Americans acting and they speak in English the whole movie. Yeah, I don't know why this is the one on Filmstruck.
Well, I heard that,
there are 2
it's a big
versions
thing
of the
in
film.
Italy, in Italian culture, to just dub films because
Yeah.
they like hearing it in Italian, which is fine. The Italian version was longer than the version we saw on Filmstruck. It was 105 minutes. The Filmstruck version was 88 minutes, and apparently that's the French release. Couldn't they go out and find English spoken?
It totally
does it
too.
even exist anymore as like a print? Did
This
they
could just
sort
be
of, like...
completely wrong memory, but I thought I watched this like TCM years ago in English. But I also don't remember very well.
Well, because so apparently Ingrid Bergman spoke like a dozen languages.
Yeah.
So she could speak Italian. Was that her voice dubbing herself?
Oh,
I
good
don't know.
question. It might have been.
That would be really cool.
I thought the voice was similar. I just don't think I got a good Italian actress to do that.
Who knows?
But it was a weird thing.
It was.
Well, I actually didn't find it too distracting because there's only like so much dialogue in the movie as well.
The lips just don't match.
It's true. It's true.
Those lips don't lie.
They
Thank you, Sarah.
I'm helping.
they sort of did. There was one scene that was literally about like an English idiom or Italian idiom or something, and then it just didn't work because of language. But I don't know. The movie was pretty-ish to look at. I liked seeing all of basically Naples. I liked her sensitivity. She really liked taking tours. It was her thing. And she got upset about the catacombs. And also, the Italian guys were jerks because they were Italian men. But,
Accurate.
it didn't bother me in a way that took me away from the film. It didn't bring me out of the film to realize, oh, I don't like this. I was able to stay in the story, and that's something that I like about movies, when they can do that, just keep me in. The guy was he was a dick.
He was an asshole.
He was a huge asshole.
Yeah. But,
She wasn't that much better, though, to be honest.
I feel bad for him a little bit because with this marriage that's been there, 7-8 years or whatever they said?
8 years.
8 years. Clearly both sides had major, emotional communication issues.
Yeah.
He just seemed unaware of it.
Yeah.
So, she begins the film by saying, we're in a bad place. And he's like, what? And it's like, yeah, we've been horribly unhappy for years. He's like, fuck, we have.
No, it was interesting. My girlfriend and I were talking about this afterwards. She compared it to long movie, Civil War.
Gone with the Wind?
That one.
That we reviewed.
Yes. And how they had sort of the same troubles, but they liked each other at different points. It just never sunk up, and then they failed. Where here somehow they saved themselves just over the brink, and they came back, and that was okay. I found it believable, even though it is kind of the cliche thing that Leigh was talking about, sort of what threw her off in the movie. I liked the happy ending. Sometimes I want a happy ending.
Happy ending is fine. I just don't want to watch people be miserable for an hour and a half first.
I also did not think the marriage was in a good place at the end. I think they're fucked next week.
I kind of felt the same way. I think what bugged me, and I was saying this to Austin while we were watching it, was that they basically start the movie by saying, like, we're miserably unhappy, and we just realized it. And it meant that because we didn't see anything about their marriage outside of this part of this trip, that really wasn't very. I had no real attachment to these characters, or my feeling upon watching them was yeah, you guys should probably get a divorce. You guys seem really unhappy, and I see nothing redeemable about this relationship. So cool. And then in the end, basically, they stay together. I mean, her primary reason for staying together seems to be that she wants to have children, which is depressing, because that's a limiting thing about a marriage-based society, that the only way that you can have children is to stay in a really unhappy marriage. That sucks. And I think if we had seen even just a little bit of what their marriage was and why we should care about these people, I would have been more invested. But it was telling, not showing. It was, our marriage is falling apart and we just realized it in the car.
It kind of makes sense. England does have a lot of distractions. That's where they're coming from. That's where their voyage originated. But it also has museums and parties. Did they just exhaust all of those on their dates?
Well, so the museums
before getting married,
to me, were pretty interesting because, it's not a very long movie, and her, these day trips are supposed to be very important to the story, and I only found them occasionally to kind of sync up with the narrative.
Yeah.
Clearly, it can show some differences where she kind of prefers history, and kind of the stillness of statues over banal people at parties, whereas that's an environment where he works much better in. And she clearly has a strong feeling towards history and other cultures kind of blending, and she saw that kind of in the catacombs. But other times, I needed more anecdotes for her to ponder different parts of what her life could be, aside from all of her car rides and just seeing pregnant women.
Yeah, which
was 3 car rides.
Yeah.
And it just didn't feel as satisfying to me in a way that other films have done it better. And there may be a 2013 Richard Linklater film that does this excellently.
She even negated one of her own points. She was talking with her husband about a poet. She's like, oh, the verses are beautiful. And then she goes and sees a museum with really old statues. And she's like, those people way back then are the same as us. Yeah, I guess that he wasn't that great of a poet or something like that. And her husband's like, right. Oh, it was kind of... You guys are affecting my views on this movie.
No, you're allowed to keep your views.
I know, but
now the
discussion is also a thing.
Well, maybe Adam could turn it all around. Adam,
turn it around.
Yeah, I appreciated this movie, but I didn't like it so much. Because I kind of saw it as a Brecht kind of play. He focuses on not really having an emotional attachment to his characters. You're just supposed to kind of watch these people and watch what they do, but not feel for them or necessarily relate to them. And so if you watch this movie with that in mind, I kind of switched gears about halfway through. It's kind of funny that these people are so involved in their own lives, even though they're in this beautiful place. She's basically on vacation. And it seemed to me when she was in the museums, she wasn't actually enjoying the things that were there. She was thinking about her marriage, and that's It's ridiculous because it's beautiful museums and stuff.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I want to say is that, kind of a spoiler for the end, I guess.
We spoiled the ending pretty
Okay. So when she was in the museums, she was looking at like old interpretations of people, and that was fine. She kind of had little to no reaction to that. But then at the end, when they were looking at the skeleton of a real person, she freaked out and was she freaked out. So I think there might be some connection between like having a real connection to people or just an interpretation of people, because she mostly looked at other people when she was in the car. Mm-hmm. She didn't really have any like interactions with people except in that one scene, I guess. I don't know, that's just one interpretation that I
mean, that would make sense, because it's sort of one of those, you have to be away from home before you realize what you had sort of thing.
Yeah.
And so they had to be taken away from their native England, whatever marriage system that worked out for them, before realizing what their relationship actually was. And same thing for her, she sort of had to be in a situation where she is just observing, or an observing figure or whatever, to sort of see what she actually has, if that makes sense. And then, yeah, when you see a couple entombed in ash,
that's kind of dark.
Kind of pushes you over the edge. Makes sense. And then you've got asshole man that just kind of fights back because he's asshole man.
Asshole man.
Asshole man. He would make a good asshole man.
Leigh, what did you think of Ingrid Bergman's excursions?
I don't know. Like, it's I get what Adam's saying, definitely. It's like she's just kind of showing up and not paying attention about her life, or about the museum, and only caring about her life. But I feel like it just makes sense with the rest of this movie. She's miserable. She doesn't really want to distract herself. She's pretending that she's doing all these things because she wants to, but she doesn't really immerse herself in the experiences. Instead, is mopey about her failing marriage.
But I mean, I guess my thing is, like, I don't know, her marriage is reasonable to be mopey about, and
yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know, I get what you're saying, and I do think that your Brecht analogy is right, like, that this is more about, like, this movie is probably at its best if it is interpreted more as like a movie about experiencing Italy and what they got out of it than it is about their marriage and about the characters. And that is, I think, an explanation for the frustration that I had of feeling like I didn't really know these characters. It was probably intentional. And I did like that contrast about how she seemed to be like all consumed by this problem with their marriage, and he sort of seemed fine. But I don't know. I do think that I think you did need the earlier scenes to get the contrast with the Pompeii scene. Mm-hmm. But I think that scene was the most powerful, and the rest sometimes felt
describe
like...
that scene a little bit.
So at the Pompeii scene, they're at Pompeii, and they're wandering around, and she really doesn't want to be there. Like, basically, she doesn't want to go. No one wants to go. And their guide basically says, like, you have to do this. This is like a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And he takes them to a newly excavated pair of, like, people who are, like, intertwined at the moment of their death, like, probably in bed together, and she, like, freaks out. And it works because it's so different than her reaction to other things. You have to know how this character is not emotional about art or about things she sees in order to make that valuable. But I don't know. I thought it was... I just always felt like I was missing something with this movie, and that bums me out when I feel that way.
No, I kind of like the... Well, I wasn't thrown from her focusing on her own life and her marriage when going to the museums, because that's kind of the point of museums and artists, to elicit an emotional response, and what was on her mind basically the whole time was exactly that, her marriage and whatnot. By contrast, when she goes to the volcano, she's all happy and fun. Like, it was really interesting. And it had no art at all. It was just like, hey, check it out. If I hold a smoky thing over a smokestack, it smokes
That's true.
more. And he pointed out also like, oh, look, those are the ash flakes that people were buried in by the ton in Pompeii. Oh, that's cool. Let's save that in our mind for later when we uncover an intertwined couple.
I was worried the volcano parts were too on the nose. Of like, hey, look, here's the world in chaos. She goes, I relate to this.
I guess, yeah, that
It's literally bubbling on the surface. It's a problem. This can go off in any second.
I guess.
Once they said volcano, I'm like, I bet she's gonna like the volcano.
Well, she did, though. It was fun.
Yeah. No, the one thing, like, I often find myself a little bit cold with Berto versus indie films, but he makes a beautiful film. And I did really enjoy that sequence when they're, showing the scientific little trick of if you have a cigarette and you put it here, the whole place will fill with smoke in a really artistic way. It's very cool because it wasn't like an immediate Hollywood sweeping shot of like how it works.
No.
You just kind of pan over and there it's happening.
Yeah.
It was nice. And also I want to say that I thought Ingrid Bergman was fantastic in this.
Yeah, she's
I always like her.
She's always great.
And this felt like we're in the 50s now. We're starting to see a little bit of kind of method actors getting attention. I feel that she almost didn't get that attention because she's really good in very nuanced scenes. And George Sanders was fine.
Yeah.
He's perfectly fine, but...
I just hated that character. Like, so much. Like, he didn't give a shit about their relationship at all. He just didn't. She was like, we should get divorced. And he's like, yep, let's get divorced. All right, let's do this. Okay.
Which is why I think I didn't buy the turn enough at the end because he was so dickish in the car.
Yeah.
I thought he was the one that was like, all right, let's get divorced. Like, he was the one
Either
that...
way,
And she said, yeah, sure.
He was very nonchalant about it. It's like, yeah, sure, let's get married. Or get divorced. That's fine.
The opposite.
Well, yeah, because I remember, she was basically alluding to it, and then he drops it, and she's like, but wait, no, I was maybe hinting at it. We can talk more. I don't know. He was kind of weird. I'm wondering if we're supposed to attribute his weird, cold personality to the war, because they brought that up heavily. The fact that they're coming back from the war, and he was in the service.
This is a Bruce Lady film, which means I am probably missing so many war metaphors in this movie.
Yeah.
Whoops. Sorry.
Sorry, Bruce Lady.
I feel like this all the time. But, yeah, there's probably European war metaphors going on here.
So, that was something I also didn't really get, but thought there might be more.
Anyone have any final thoughts?
No.
Was the guy trying to be at least nice in the beginning? I think it was only the once when he's like, let's have a drink. And she's like, all right, let's go to the bar. But what, you don't want to have a drink together? No, because you won't like it.
Yeah,
I think he was trying, but also he still wasn't reading the room right.
He was probably like, thank God. Deep down inside. Maybe. I don't know.
Let's hinge it up.
Yeah.
We assign a hinge rating to all of our reviews. Mostly for kicks, maybe for some mythology reason. We don't really get how this works. It's from 0 to 5. Sarah, do you want to hinge it facts of the week?
I was just didn't think
No, I forgot. I'm sorry.
It's okay. They're coming back, guys. They're going to come back strong.
It'll happen.
2017, year of the hinge.
Yes, year of the hinge.
Holy shit. Okay, I put in my phone, I just typed in henge. The first thing that Google autocorrects it to is henge fact.
It's beautiful.
Damn straight.
Yes.
Wait, Sammy, you've Googled that too many times? Is it your personal
Yes.
Google model?
I don't know. I don't think I've ever
Definitely is.
Googled henge fact.
All right. Anyway, I give this film 3 hinges.
2.7.
I thought you liked it more than me.
I mean,
we gotta remember the Adam scale, though. Like, right? Like,
yeah.
an
It's
Adam 2.7 is like a regular person 4.
better than half.
Yeah. All right, so I talked over to Sarah.
2.8?
4?
No, you're allowed.
4.
2.
4.
All right, that is Journey to Italy, also known as Voyage to Italy. It is available in the Criterion Collection, in disc form, and on filmstruck.com. And probably your library. Anywho, Leigh, what did we listen to this week?
This week we listened to The Slider by T-Rex.
You gonna look fine. You're prime for dancing. You're gonna trip and glide out on a trampoline.
This is their 7th studio album, their 3rd after they made a transition. So T-Rex used to be known as Tyrannosaurus Rex. And then at that point, as the Tyrannosaurus Rex, they were kind of a folky, psychedelic band, you know, it was the 70s. And then the lead singer, Mark Bolan, and the drummer, Steve Peregrine took.
Oh,
What?
Yep, that was his name.
Wait, isn't
That
that,
was
a
his
Harry
stage
Potter
name.
thing?
No.
That is a Lord of the
Good
Rings
job.
character.
Austin,
Oops.
you just read that book.
Oops.
Nerd.
Austin,
I think it's some absurd British fantasy name.
Austin.
But anyway, those two had a falling out, and they split up, so Mark Bolan then created T-Rex and made it more of a rocky kind of electric glam rock band. So this is their 3rd album in that genre, and I really like it. Like, I give a lot of shit to the British bands on this list, because a lot of the time it's like, they had no reason to be on this list. And when, like, this was announced last week, I was like, okay, well, it's T-Rex. They have that one song that's been used in a billion commercials, and that's it. And it's pretty true. Like, this was their highest ranking Billboard album, and it only hit 17.
I feel like I've heard of T-Rex.
You hear a lot about them. You just
Yeah.
never hear them, really.
But
And I'm really glad about this list, because I really enjoyed this album.
Me too. I thought it was really cool sounding. And I had heard one song before, which was Ballroom's Mars. Weird enough, because I heard that in School of Rock, which is a great movie.
It is.
Yeah, they have a really cool sound. I mean, they're weirdo rock and roll.
But in a really fun way. Like, I was listening to them, and I think it was, like, the beginning of this album, with, like, Metal Guru, which was one of the singles off of this album, kind of reminded me, like, a faux acoustic version of Cage the Elephant, if that makes any sense.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, Cage the Elephant's a modern band, so I'm trying to reach out for all those people who don't really know older music. It kind of felt like a more acoustic version of Cage the Elephant, and I definitely am really glad that we got to listen to this album, because I really enjoyed it.
It was cool, and like it kept surprising me, because like it had songs I just assumed I wouldn't like. Because like Spaceball Ricochet is such a weird song, and it's so like repetitive in a strange way, and it just really is amused by its own phrase, Spaceball Ricochet.
I mean, that's a great phrase.
And yet I was entranced.
No, all of the names of the songs on this album, I feel, are like names of characters in a British post-apocalyptic mystery novel. Like, there's the Metal Guru, and the Mystic Lady, and the Slider, and Baby Boomerang, and Spaceball Ricochet. Like, they all sound like those types of characters.
And don't forget,
I love it.
Rabbit Fighter.
Yeah. And Telegram Sam, like, come on.
Now, this is, according to Wikipedia, this is glam rock. We've covered a glam rock before, right?
Did we?
I think so.
We've covered every, like, rock adjective, it feels like.
Well,
No,
Wikipedia
there
just
are
makes
so
up more
much
adjectives.
Yeah, Leigh keeps making shit up.
No, Wikipedia makes shit up.
Wikipedia does. I try to keep it in a more consistent genre.
But, like, Bowie is glam rock, right?
Oh.
I've heard that before.
Sure,
Maybe?
it's fair.
Click glam rock. Let's see.
People, there are certainly people who would characterize him that way. He's a
I
little
would
bit,
just
he's a
call-
little genre bending, but yeah.
Yeah, just call Bowie and leave it at that.
Now, did T-Rock do that song, All the Young
T-Rex.
Dudes? T-Rex, whatever. I don't know music.
That's a new genre.
But, like,
What song?
All the Young Dudes?
I don't think so.
Because Bowie wrote that song, and then someone else performed it. I thought it might have been T-Rex. But yeah, okay. Wikipedia says David Bowie. So, ha. I don't know what I'm trying to prove. Anyone else listen to the album?
Unfortunately not. It does sound good, though.
Yeah, it was...
I did.
Yeah, what do you think?
I did one time. And this is not a fair critique, and I hate saying it, but it did feel a little long to me.
Really?
Yeah, I just felt like I kind of got the gist of it after, like, the 7th or 8th song. How many are there? 13?
13.
13, yeah.
Yeah, and so, like, that's not really fair of me to say.
You know what's the best time to listen to it? After you've watched 10 episodes of Three's Company, and you wanted to watch anything else.
Yeah.
It flies by.
I'm sure it does.
And then you go right back to Three's Company.
Yeah. I feel like I don't see myself listening to this on a regular basis, but I did enjoy the little bit of it that I did enjoy.
Math.
All
Yes.
Hey.
What?
He just heard the word math and he chimed back in.
Sorry.
Someone's making fun of math.
Yeah. It's sad.
I'm not. Whatever. But, so did you like the sound of it? Because...
Yeah, I did. It was. I did expect it to be another British new wave band, but it was interesting. And I think I would. I just said I wouldn't listen to it again, but I probably would listen to it one more time.
I definitely would, because I like rock and roll, but I like the rock and roll with more variety to it.
Yeah.
Because we covered Highway to Hell last week?
Great stuff.
When are we?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago? Fair enough. And it was fun, but it was the same thing. Whereas
Same great thing.
this,
Same great mediocre thing.
like this, I felt like it felt different to me each time, and like in a different degree. Does that make any sense?
Yeah. It was just different enough.
Yeah. Because, like, I will give it to you, like, a lot of the songs had a lot of the same structure. Like, the structure was never really that exciting. It was just kind of the same. It's like, here's this and this and this. But it always sounded really different, whereas Highway to Hell ran into the problem where every song sounded the exact same.
Yeah. We're all nodding our heads in reverence.
No, I'm also having Highway to Hell play in my head right now.
Me too.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing.
Lee, do you have any final thoughts about the song?
I do want to share one more fact.
Let's hear it.
So, Mark Bolan was the lead singer. He hooked up with one of their backup singers, and they were in a relationship up until Mark Bolan's death, right before he turned 30, got in a car crash. Don't drink and drive, guys.
No.
So, but my fun fact was, his son, Mark Bolan's son, is Roland Bolan.
Oh boy.
Yep.
That's
I made
choice.
sure, like, I double and triple checked that before I shared it, because I was like, that is so ridiculous, that can't be true.
No.
But no, his name is Roland Bolan.
No, Pedro's whispering, who is that? No, it's a funny name, Pedro.
Oh.
It's just funny.
Oh. I like Roland. That's a good name.
Pedro looked confused, whispered, who's that? And then opened up his phone to Google who Roland Boland is.
Roland's a great name.
There's no D on either. It's
Oh.
Roland.
Oh.
And
Bowling.
there's no. Then it's like
Never
it's like
mind.
totally intentional in an awful
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. Well, what did David Bowie's son, Duncan Jones, what's his real name?
Dunkin' Donuts.
No.
No, it's dumb. I don't remember what he named his kid, but it's like not
Because
okay.
I mean, he's a filmmaker called Duncan Jones, but his real name is...
Zowie Haywood. Duncan Zowie. Haywood.
Zowie, right?
Zowie. Yep. Because it's like Bowie.
I assume it's Ziggy Stardust and Bowie. That's got to be it, right?
Yeah, I assume he just had sex with himself, and that's what made Duncan Jones. Anyhow, let's hinge up this album.
I'm going to give it a 4. I'm definitely going to listen to this again, and I'm going to try to listen to more T-Rex. Because that was a lot of fun.
I'll give it 4 as well.
I shall give it a 3.
Wow.
All right. That is The Slider by T-Rex. And now it's time for the food segment.
So the food today is Stinky Tofu, which I do not have, which I am bummed by. Stinky Tofu is a kind of fermented tofu. Apparently it smells really, really bad, but tastes really, really good. Or really, really bad, depending on who on the internet you ask. It's Chinese and Taiwanese. Unfortunately, here's what I think is going on. Most of the really good Chinese restaurants in Chicago have an American menu and a Chinese menu that's in Chinese. And although a couple of places on Yelp say that you can get Stinky Tofu here, it is not listed on the American menu, presumably because they think that no one will order it. So if anyone knows where I can get Stinky Tofu in Chicago and how to order it, please let me know.
I tried to order it today from a place that we had a lead for, and it sounded like I was pranking them.
Yeah.
Like I was very confused and kept me to repeat it. I said, no, Stinky, but like, it's called that. Sticky? No, I actually am saying Stinky. I'm sorry. It was a very awkward phone call with a very nice man. And then I canceled the order, which made him more confused.
Yep. Yep.
I have a friend in China right now, and she actually tried this a couple weeks ago, and she said it smelled and tasted just like the livestock barn at the state fair.
Awesome. Awesome.
Well, I'm so glad we missed this one, and hopefully we will...
But I have to eat it before I can die, so if
I
somebody
want
knows
to try
where to get
it
it...
legitimately. Like,
China has it.
Well, yes, I know.
Well, I think
go
some
to
more
China.
restaurants in Chicago, maybe in Chinatown. We'll do
Oh
a
yeah,
Chinatown
no,
field
exactly.
trip.
It's just a matter of getting them to give it to me.
I've yet to go to Chinatown.
What?
Let's go on a field trip and try to buy some stinky tofu.
I'm into
Yeah,
that.
do
Yeah.
that. All right, that's the food segment.
Yay.
Is it my turn?
Pedro, what did we listen to this week?
We listened to Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud by James Brown. Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud is a song.
Now you know you're doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
it's not-
I've
yeah.
known I was doing it for a while.
I don't believe
Because
you.
I need to flip my page. Okay, it's a sound. It's a song that
Sound.
came out in '68. James Brown performed it, but it was written by Pee Wee Ellis. It's good. It's catchy. I feel it's fun to listen to.
I think now would be a good time to reiterate that we are a bunch of white people.
We are a bunch of white people.
Yeah, we are.
Very, very white.
Very.
But Pedro kept trying to sing this on the train.
But it's catchy. It's a really
It's real
catchy
catchy.
song. It's I don't know. So James Brown, he's got the James Brown Orchestra, which is a full like jazz brass ensemble. It's got the two trumpets.
Awesome.
It's got all trombone, all three saxes. I think unless they're missing one, baritone, alto, and tenor. And then guitar, bass, drums, and a chorus of about 38 children from LA, where he recorded it, singing the sort of chorus vocals or backup vocals, response vocals. And it's interesting having such a large band instrumental portion of the group, James Brown obviously vocals, being just embellishments to the main attraction of the song, which is James Brown singing. But it's cool because you get to hear James Brown has an awesome voice.
Yeah.
Sure.
The subject matter of the song is not the happiest, but he doesn't sound angry, and it kind of sounds like he's having fun performing it. I could be completely wrong, but I really hope I'm not, because that's sort of what I heard. And it's cool just hearing like all of those instruments just jump in at little points to make an embellishment, except for like one of the few places where he actually like sings a melody instead of more just vocalizing. You can hear sort of him playing with the saxophone, a saxophone, I'm not sure which, maybe it's all of them. And it's fun, and it just sticks with you, and it makes you hop up and down while you walk. Just maybe try not to sing it out loud so much if you're a white dude on the train or something, or basically anywhere.
I think James Brown's awesome. I love his voice. I thought the tune was so catchy and so awesome. I'm going to play a Leigh card right now and say I did not like the children.
Really?
Children are awful.
Really? The children are great!
They could have enunciated better, I'll give you that.
They're children!
No, but like...
You can cut down on how many children you have and have it sound like they're enunciating better. I get where Austin comes from.
Oh my god.
Because like, I think that the Season 4 version of The Wire intro is the best one. I'm not against children singing. But I did not think they hit the coolness level of the rest of the song. I thought they brought it down.
I thought they made it sound like they enhanced the he's having fun with this, even though is he really?
It's about empowering another generation of young black youth, and that
There you go.
it really matters. That's the children are like the whole point of the song.
Maybe that means it's not an effective song.
Whoa.
I think my only problem with this
What am I
song
doing?
is that
Thank God, I thought I was gonna mess this up.
I kept waiting for it to riff, and it didn't, which
Yeah, it
made me
doesn't.
sad. Like, I was like, because I love James Brown, and I love the James Brown Orchestra, and I really wanted it to, like, go like a little bit like off the rails and do some crazy cool stuff. And it doesn't. It's pretty much just this. The kids are sort of the point. I like the lyrics. I think they're cool. I like the children. Y'all are weird.
If they had half as many kids, no, seriously, like if they had half as many kids, I think it would have been better.
It's like the point is that it's
whole
like a
thing.
yeah. It's
But
like a
how
crowd
many
of
kids?
children.
Do you know how many children were there? Do you know how many children were
It says
singing?
about 30.
No. So if you cut the number in half, it would be better.
I don't think that's true. 30 children is a very reasonable number of children for this kind of thing.
For a chorus, yeah.
Yeah, that's a
chorus
super.
with 15 kids is kind of.
It'd be sad.
It'd be like, I don't have enough. It wouldn't have enough oomph.
Well, and they're not singing really. They're
They
just
didn't
yelling.
have enough oomph. They
They're just
need twice as
yelling.
many.
Wow, we're
I
okay.
think if the whole world had about half as many children.
Jeez,
Well,
man.
that would solve a lot of problems.
I mean-
Let's be honest.
Jeez, man. Kids are great.
I'm not saying kill them, I'm just saying have less of them.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, if
There-
like
there's
half of us were here.
There's a country that does that.
Anyway,
I thought, didn't they recently double it?
To 2.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's doubling.
Oh.
France, don't listen to this. You gotta keep your population up. It's going away. Slowly but surely.
Those Japans.
Yeah.
A lot of the world is stopping reproducing. I wonder why. It's almost as like they don't want children for some reason.
I read in Aziz Ansari's book that the Japanese government's actually like paying people to get married and have kids
Yeah.
and such.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I'd take that.
Sure.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, anybody.
Now that we talked about Japanese culture during the Say
Yeah.
It Loud, I'm Black and Proud segment.
Yeah, good job, guys.
Well, I listened to it and I enjoyed it, but wanted a little more. But I think James Brown has a charisma and an energy that is so infectious, and it comes through in all of his songs. Yeah, so
Yeah, he's great.
It's hard to not like James Brown.
No, I've said it almost every time there's an important song or whatever. Things are said and they're important. I don't listen to lyrics. I don't catch it. It was impossible for me to not like hang on every word he says. He is legitimately an important instrument of the orchestra. A lot of times you can just kind of sort of forget the lead singer. Let's be honest. But it was good and catchy. Although I do agree with Sarah that I don't want to say monotony, but it kind of is monotony.
Yeah.
Of the song, the repetitiveness I don't know. It was a little not boring.
No, I just wanted a riff.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Maybe a little more spice that wasn't just James Brown's voice. I don't know.
Especially since James Brown is so freaking talented.
Yeah.
Like,
that's I think part of it is that like I'm sad at any James Brown song that is not like so cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What's interesting, this song, so apparently it was released, like, there's a part 1 and a part 2 on either side of the record. If you add them together, it's like 5 minutes, 15 seconds. But the one that I listened to was 4 minutes, 45 seconds, roughly, just all together. Where do you cut the song? Or can you cut it anywhere? And can you actually differentiate apart from the in-between lyrics? I mean, I'm sure you could, but I don't know. It just seemed interesting that it would actually have, like, side 1 and side 2 to this song. Whereas I felt like a unit would be better.
You know, I only heard the 3-minute version.
You heard a 3-minute version. I heard a 4 minute, 48 second.
I went to YouTube.
Ah.
And there was a 3-minute version that had most views, so I assumed that was the right one.
I mean, I do have the lyrics printed out. Maybe they just sort of cut a few of the
I imagine they
choruses.
just repeat it, yeah.
There are some verses that are like straight up all repeated. But I don't know. Is this like what's the how did he intend it to be heard? Is sort of what I'm getting at.
Well, the version I saw was also him trying to sell t-shirts and sweatshirts. According to that image that's on YouTube.
Oh.
I know he didn't upload this.
No, he would no.
I don't think he's G-Strong Raw.
No. What are you talking about? No. This is a great song. I like it. It's not materialistic. It's wonderful.
He's wearing the shirt.
Yeah, but it's like an empowering message.
It's like D-Ray's shirt.
It's got its own face
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, it's a good example.
Yeah, true. True.
All right.
Anyway, yep.
Okay, so Pedro, you knew that he was blind, right?
No, he was not blind.
You passed the test.
So close.
I think I saw like a half hour of that movie. They released a movie about him, right?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I'm
You
pretty
think
sure.
you've read,
It was
I
on like
think.
HBO. No, he was blind.
Oh yeah, does Pedro know which artists are blind? The game.
God,
I don't
I
think
gotta
I
do
know.
more research on these.
Yeah, or yeah. Let's hinge it up.
Ooh, I don't know. At 4, solid 4.
3.5.
4.
3.8.
3.5.
All right, that is "Say It Loud." I'm black and proud. By
Black
James
and
Brown.
I'm proud.
Sorry, I'm black and I'm proud. By James Brown. Take a listen. It's a good one. Adam, what did we watch this time?
Ooh, trick play.
Because we just stopped wanting to buy the book this week.
Yeah. We found a YouTube video of a narration of this book. So,
Because I have a box full of picture books I don't want.
yeah. It's not cheating. Shut up. This is The Duck and the Gun by Joy Cowley. And it's illustrated by Robin Belton. Very well, I might add. Good job,
I like
Robin.
the illustrations.
Yeah.
It was so cute.
Yeah. Did you read it too?
Yes.
Did you watch it too, I mean?
Yes, I did.
So The Duck and the Gun is about a general and his army coming upon a town, and he's ready to attack, but then he finds out that there is a duck in his only cannon that he has.
Because when you go and attack a city, you only have one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. So he can't take the duck out because it's nesting, and that would be wrong. So he decides to go to the town and ask if he can borrow one of their guns. And he meets the prime minister there and his daughter, and the prime minister refuses. And then the book carries on from there. Sort of like I
But
could,
in 10 pages.
yeah, for another 10 pages. That's most of the book, but it's really charming, and I found it delightful. I really enjoyed this one.
It is. It's like like doing an anti-war kids book is such a hard line to do,
Yeah,
and this is kind of a great way of like recognizing that life has value by putting it towards a duck and its eggs.
yeah.
That's cute.
There's not even an argument about like, well, can we just? Or no, there is. They say, can we just shoot it with the duck in?
Yeah,
But that was the end of it. It's like, no, we can't do that.
Yeah, right.
yeah, that'd be bad.
Yeah.
Someone can get hurt.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. But I think that's what I really liked about the book is that it had more of a message than just this is a story about a kid growing up or whatever, which is I feel like what most of the books that we've read have been about. And I thought it was really artfully done, and the characters were great. It was a little absurdist at times, which I like. I'm down for that.
Don't get mad at the audience.
I didn't mean to. I'm sorry, audience.
What are you gonna do?
Leigh, talk.
I thought it was really cute. And because it was a cute story, and it was a neat way to reframe, war is bad, violence is bad. And it was never that explicit, which I feel like can happen a lot of times, especially with kids' books. But this one is just like, war happens to be bad, let's look at this cute duck.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and things are resolved through patience and friendship.
And talking things out. Because if people just fucking talk to each other more, we wouldn't have half the problems we do.
Was it really resolved by talking things out? It was more like we don't really have any other option.
Wait,
No, at
did
the
you
end of
read
the
it?
story, they
I
were
read
like,
it.
Oh, you
hey,
did read it.
I did read it. I straight up paused it, muted it, and read it like a real person.
Because the person doing the thing was annoying.
I watched it, and I wish I had actually done the first thing, which was mute it and just actually read it.
yeah.
Because, she was really annoying.
Okay, so what do you think? I didn't know you read it.
Thanks. Usually you ask.
Usually it's just Adam and I for about 10 minutes now. This is weird. We have like other participants.
Ooh, cool.
Well, when they have YouTube videos, I can't help it.
Yeah,
That's true.
It's only 9 minutes.
Yeah.
You should watch it. I really liked it. I mean, it's not how war is conducted, but it was
Wow.
cute. And it's
That's your
refreshing.
note? The realism factor?
Yeah. No,
Jesus.
it was cute and fun, and honestly, I thought maybe I watched too much Game of Thrones or something, but I thought the end was perfect because you don't. I'm not going to give it away, but how they ended it,
10-minute long book.
how they end it is how you actually do win over a city in real like old times. You don't just blow it up; you become part of it permanently.
Give them your diseases and stuff.
Well, that too.
Well, see, that's why I was saying they did talk it out, because at the end of it, because I'm going to spoil it, because it's a 10-minute long book,
Yeah.
they paint the whole city, like the soldiers, because they have nothing to do, they paint the whole city, and then they're like, hey, we don't want to ruin what we just did, we can finish painting it, how about that? And so they did. Like, that was super cute. That's how you talk things out.
Yeah.
Hey, I've been talking to the Prime Minister the whole time. I want to marry his daughter. That's
I mean-
how you really bring a city together and win it.
She was banging.
You marry into their royalty. Come on, it's a lot easier, cheaper than a war. I mean, that's just smart diplomacy right there. I think.
So does Joy.
I took the... Wait, what? The movie Joy?
The author
Oh,
of the book.
okay.
Plead?
So I took it as a nice, like, two groups coming together in equal ways. Pedro takes it as an infiltration mission.
No, okay.
They have snuck in. They've repainted the town in their colors.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought at first. But then I thought about it for a little bit. But no, actually, that is what I thought about it. It was really cute. Actually, I'm gonna say this because it's really dark and sad. But what this made me actually like visualize and imagine were the times when ducks probably were in cannons. And you know what would happen? The commander would be like, yeah, shoot it anyway. And then the soldier would be like, but no. They'd be like, yeah, fuck you. And then they'd kill it. And that made me feel real sad because that's definitely happened.
But it didn't happen in the story.
Not in
Yay!
this story. Woo!
This is a
The ducks
picture book.
survived!
Exactly. And the pictures were well done. I agree.
Good pictures.
The ending, I thought the ending was going to be that someone from the town had put the duck in the cannon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but that wouldn't make any sense.
I figured it was going to be some sort of like, but we like the people in the town. Actually, when the guys were like, no, but we just painted it, I was like, wait, but you didn't like meet the people or have fun or fall in love. It was just, we just painted it. All our work is going to be erased. That little bit right there actually kind of threw me off.
Well,
I was expecting more.
That's
like,
great
camaraderie.
picture book storytelling.
That's true, I guess.
You
Don't
have
blow
a
up the
visual
town.
example of progress being made.
I guess that's true.
That's it.
I like
That
how
was
the
fine.
general.
Yeah, you should read it.
Yeah, it was cute.
It was. Yeah. Read it to your kids.
Yeah, it's a good story for kids.
Yeah.
Then tell them everything I said.
There's no way any kids listen to this segment, and they shouldn't, despite
they shouldn't.
the subject matter. All right.
So,
Who are we doing this for? What are we reviewing picture books for?
For all the parents out
Oh,
there.
God.
Future parents.
Some grown adults like reading children's books, Austin.
I'm sure there are some kids out there that just kind of have free access to podcasts and listen to whatever they want. as
I
well.
hope there are
I
no
would
children
either.
listening to our podcast.
They wait through the 50s Italian film, the glam rock segment, the Stinky Tofu explanation,
But think about how cool
the
these
James
kids
Brown
would be.
theories.
Guys, I just found another album or another movie or something. Like, they'd be so cool to all their friends. Be like, look at all
That's
these
not
things.
what being cool is at all.
No, it's
That's
just,
what they
usually
told me in
depends on
school.
what sneakers you have.
Oh, buddy. Yeah, it's not what sneakers you have.
Okay,
4.6.
3.9.
4.2.
4.
All right, that is The Duck in the Gun by...
Joy Cowley.
All right, we will have a YouTube link on the website. And now it's time for the TV segment. And this week, we're reviewing Three's Company.
Come and knock on our door.
Come and knock on our door.
We've been waiting for you.
We've been waiting for you.
Where the kisses are
Hers and his. Three's Company too.
Three's Company 2. So, I watched like 40 episodes of this show, and
It's not healthy.
lost my mind in the process. Did it again, guys.
Oh boy.
Okay, so did anyone watch this?
I watched one episode with you, but I don't feel confident to review the whole show.
You did not laugh once and walked out of the room several times.
Well, that's because it wasn't funny, and it was weird.
It was a weaker episode. Wait, Leigh, did you watch any?
No, this is one of the few shows that I actually kind of avoided when it came on in syndication for some reason, and I'm thinking it was because even when I was young, I realized how creepy it was.
So, it's weirdly not creepy. It's weird. So, this is the story of a guy named Jack Tripper who is roommates with two other girls, and this is scandalous as fuck. Mm-hmm. Every adult in this world cannot mentally comprehend the idea that a single man is living with two women. He keeps getting denied bank loans because of this. This is the thing that is freaked out so much. The landlord will not tolerate this. And the only way that the landlord allows this to happen is because he thinks Jack is gay.
Mm-hmm. Which, I'm sorry, that's pretty progressive for the 70s, to have a gay kind of character.
And actually, that holds up really well, because whenever Jack pretends to be gay, it is always to highlight the homophobia of the landlord.
This is from the 70s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
This lasted for like 8 years. This is a huge hit on ABC. It made John Ritter a huge star. And John Ritter's amazing in this. John Ritter is like a fantastic sitcom star. And he's just so silly. His physical humor is amazing. His timing is great. He can perform the dumbest lines with sincerity and conviction. Which is good, because the entire show is so stupid. I watched so many episodes, and I kept changing my mind on how I felt about it. But I think the quality never changed for the show. Because it is just like the most ridiculous sitcom farces of someone lying about this, which caused this to happen, and everyone's now freaking out, and now this is over there, and this is over there, and all gets all to the end with, Jack getting smacked in the head. And that works as a very, fun, silly, almost like community theater, see some vaudeville kind of thing. But it's so stupid. And the jokes are just so stupid. Every once in a while, a witty one comes out of nowhere. And they had a whole riff on silent films for a scene. I thought it was my mind because they kept making Eisenstein jokes. That threw me off. But also the show is very revolutionary because it is hysterically sexual. Jack wants to sleep with both his roommates. His roommates want to sleep with Jack. They want to sleep with everybody. The only way this show makes any sense is that off-screen they are all getting drunk and sleeping with each other, because I jumped ahead several seasons. They are still jealous of each other at any moment when no one looks at anyone else, and they are constantly joke kissing and joke grabbing and joke falling under the couch each other. It is the horniest trio you'll ever see in an ABC sitcom, and just full of innuendo. The part that doesn't hold up very well is the landlords in the first 4 seasons are the Ropers.
Richard Roper? Sorry.
Actually, it's spelled like Richard Roper from The Night Manager, which Pedro reviewed on the Best TV Episodes article 2016. There you go. Plug for that. Yeah, it's okay. No, that's fine. Read it. It's funny. And the Ropers, they're supposed to be the dumb, annoying neighbors, the guys who are old and annoy the young kids. But Mr. Roper is a horrible bigot, and his homophobia is so awful in a way that makes him a monster in 2017, as opposed to just a goofball. Because in the show thinks he's a goofball, but they also know he's wrong, but don't highlight it as much. As opposed to All in the Family, where part of the way you understand Archie Bunker is recognizing his out-of-date bigoted views, but breaking down, trying to teach him things and recognize the hypocrisy. Mr. Roper is just an awful man who I wanted to have anvils drop on him every episode if we're going to keep this in a cartoonish world. He is so homophobic. He is constantly calling Jack a woman and making little Tinkerbell movements. And also his wife is barely a character, but her only characteristic is that she really, really wants to have sex with Mr. Roper all the time. And he keeps denying her sex for no apparent reason. And he keeps being like a peeping Tom on everyone else in the neighborhood. Like, he is denying her sex so much that I think there's actually like a valid lawsuit in play.
That's not a thing.
I think it might be a thing.
That's absolutely not a thing. It would be really creepy if it was.
I thought it would be too until you watch 40 episodes of this show.
I feel like I'm worried about you now.
It actually seems like an abusive relationship because of how miserable she is that he's not having sex with her. Which is also weird because they also play.
It's just an unhappy relationship, not an abusive relationship. Because it's not abuse not to have sex with somebody. That's very important.
We'll
Yeah, so this one you're going. You don't want to go with me on this one, huh?
It's problematic on this show.
They should have gone to Italy.
They should have gone to Italy.
Well, maybe they did because they spun off to their own TV show called The Ropers, which is considered one of the worst spin-offs of all time. But unfortunately for them, they did not come back because they were replaced by Don Knotts, who's hilarious. And the network realized they can have one character do the part of two characters and did not invite them back. They saved money. So, whoops. Also, the main blonde actress left because she wanted more money than anybody. Like, wanted more money than Alan Alda on MASH. And that didn't work out. So she was replaced by two other women. I watched one episode of each of them. They were both fine. But, yeah, it's just a really dumb show. It's a dumb show that you should not binge this show. Watch it every once in a while. Be amused on how likable the cast is and how just ridiculously silly the plot is. But if you watch too many in a row, you'll recognize that it's all stupid. There's nothing going on here. And everything's insane. 3 inches.
But that's how I watch shows.
What?
All at once. Real fast.
Don't do that for Three's Company.
Apparently you'll go crazy.
There's like 170 episodes. Don't do it.
Are you going to watch the rest of them now?
I mean, probably.
Of course.
So would you need to
Not
get
good.
like 170 TVs and put each episode on one TV?
Isn't that what Donald Trump does?
Just
Cable news?
for cable news, yeah.
She just like absorb it all? Whatever.
He just wants clips where he's talking about him. I'm not kidding. He
Yep,
just
that's literally true.
he has it on mute. Like,
Oh god, intern, please save us from talking about Donald Trump. I know it's my fault.
You can pay 30 people to watch them all at once.
it's not the intern.
I did not come to save you.
Oh.
It's just a coincidence that this is the time when I normally come. I want to make that clear.
What, when the
Sure you're
TV
not-
part ends?
Yes.
It's always the same time.
And then there's like an awkward ramble for like 30 seconds
Yes,
or so.
but Sarah did ask me if I could come and save you, and I want to make it clear that I am not. I'm just fulfilling my duty to you.
But you came and saved us.
So I think that works. I'm right.
Yeah, I like you. You saved us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why are you being so nice to us?
Right?
I am not being nice to you. If I was nice to anyone, it would be nice to Leigh, but I am not.
Because I'm your... Why are you being so nice to me?
Why do you like her better than me? Us.
You.
Us.
Damn.
Just Pedro?
Yes, I think it's obvious.
Me isn't the reason?
Yes.
me?
No.
Oh.
I hate you.
Aw.
The most.
See, I think that's endearing because you hate all of us.
Except me.
You the most. I
We're
do
attached.
hate you, Leigh, but less than everyone else.
Just like intern.
But if you like hating us, then me being gone would make you feel sad because that's less hate that you can dish out.
Sure.
You
I
like
have
me.
no idea what it is. And I am not an intern.
Are you sure? Because intern really liked me too.
Well, that he sounds like a lovely man. God, whatever they were. Anyway, I'm feeling better from last week.
What
I
happened last week?
would like you to know. And Because Bethany pulled me aside. She heard that I was having a bit of a rough time. And she said this to me, and I quote, "Those immortals will have their comeuppance in turn." And I was so happy about that it made my week entirely so much better.
Like intern? Like intern?
No, like in your turn.
Like intern.
Like we'll have our intern.
You will
back?
have your have your turn for comeuppance.
You heard the words intern and you were happy.
You will have your moment in turn.
What do you do on your off time? We've established that 99% of your time is yours alone. And this made you feel happy.
It did.
What do you do on your spare time?
I would like to give you your next number now.
Seems reasonable.
Sure.
It is 806.
806, but with a snake at the end?
806.
806?
Alright.
8 plus 6.
Guys, I don't know
Not divisible by 3.
I don't know if the people upstairs are just, I don't know, bad at character work, but this guy seems really similar to the intern.
Yeah, right now,
I'm pretty sure he's the intern after getting promoted. He's no longer an intern.
Anyway, what
I
do we
think.
have to do next week?
Personally.
Maybe we'll all find out in time. I don't know.
Oh shit! This is one of my favorite songs.
Oh.
Is
Hurt
it?
by Nine Inch Nails. It's one of my favorite songs, not by them, well, because of them, but also because we'll talk about this next week, guys.
The food is Urd. U-R-D. Apparently it's some kind of lentil thing, and I've never had it before.
The movie is, oh, this will be fun. Sex, Lies, and Videotape. Fun with that one.
The children's book is Nita, A Girl in the Far North by Edith Klatt.
the album is Timeless by Goldie.
And just in time for the movie that came out weeks ago, we're reviewing Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Ooh, exciting.
Look at that.
I'm excited about
There
that.
we go. It's still in theaters. We're still topical.
So topical.
So
I still
topical.
haven't seen it yet.
I've seen it twice.
Oh shit.
My roommate has seen it 3 times. Yeah, I know, I'm behind.
Yeah, that's on Netflix, by the way. That TV show. Isn't that cool? You know what's also cool? Emailing us.
Yeah.
You can do that by emailing the Immortals at theartimmortal.com. You can follow us on Twitter at the Immortals Pod, where you can follow the tweets of us and other podcasts on the website, like Let's Take 5, the podcast where myself and Eric Martindale pick a cinema legend, and we take 5 of their films and talk about how great they are. This week, we are on part 2 of our Pixar 5, and on Friday, we will be reviewing The Incredibles. And also, just 2 days ago, we had the second episode of Ad Absurdum.
We reviewed, not reviewed, we talked about The Truman Show. That lovely movie in which a corporation adopts a baby, subjects him to a life of constantly being filmed without telling him, kills his TV dad in front of him, and then we talk about how Truman's gonna sue the ever-loving shit out of them. It's good times. You should listen. That's it.
That's a show about lawyers.
Oh yeah,
analyzing
sorry.
pop culture.
We're lawyers. Yeah.
Bonafide.
I'm such a good, pet man for my own show. I'm so good
Nail
at it.
it. So, you can get that on iTunes, like all these shows, where also you can review all these shows. We recommend you do so people can find them. And tell a friend about these shows. 2017, I don't know. New Year's resolution is to promote small podcasts.
Yeah.
That's a popular New Year's resolution.
Yeah.
Mine is to talk about money less.
Let's talk about money more.
Alright.
Mine's talk about money exactly the same amount.
I didn't make a resolution because who am I kidding?
what are you gonna do?
Like, it's not. Is it really gonna happen? No, I just kind of forgot.
You're allowed to, we're recording the 3rd. You're still allowed to make one now.
But who am I kidding?
Damn.
Only yourself.
I'm pointing at you.
That wasn't effective.
This is going downhill. End it.
All right. Yeah, come back next Thursday. We're going to review those things. Steven Soderbergh's debut. Cartoon Star Wars. So get excited. Anywho, I'm Austin.
I'm Adam.
I'm Sarah.
I'm Leigh.
And I'm Pedro.
Thank you all for listening. Catch you next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Television man is crazy. Sam with juvenile delinquent